GLAM, Los Angeles.
Hi, Kirby. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to Los Angeles.
Y'all, if you have been tuning into the podcast, you know that I am a huge fangirl of our guest today. Sarah's like, you really need to pull it together because I am so excited that
It's
she's
like
here.
you manifested it, though. Like you said it, and then all of a sudden it was like, here she is.
I know. She popped up in LA, well, Orange County.
Yep.
LA and Orange
Yep.
County when we were wanting her on the pod. Okay, so if you already... let me do her grand intro, okay? And this might be embarrassing for you because I'm going to go through all your accolades.
Bless, you're so sweet.
This is the best, I'm just going to put it out there, best makeup educator on any social platform. I learn something new every single time I watch her. She's a makeup educator and co-founder of Rose and Ben Beauty. She has 2.9 million followers on TikTok and Instagram. She's been a constant...
I'm glad somebody finally added those up. Thank you.
You're welcome. She's been a content creator since 2014, and she founded her brand, Rose and Ben Beauty, in 2021. Please welcome Rose Siard.
Oh my gosh, hi. I'm so honored to be here. I mean, this is so serendipitous. This just worked out
It really...
so perfectly.
Because Rose is here with Wendy Zomner for Callie Ray, which we're going to talk about your ads because your ads are the only ads that I'm like, if a brand wants their money's worth, they need to just do an ad. I'm not kidding. I should be the manager now.
I thought
Sorry,
Ben
Ben.
Ben was doing a good job, and Kirby's like,
Ro-
no.
Rose and Kirby Beauty.
I'm Rose's new Kris Jenner, essentially, over here. I'm her momager. But Rose, we are such big fans of you.
Thank you.
You really just bring a light to a platform that can be really, really negative.
That is a wonderful compliment, and that's what I strive for every day, to just be a little ball of happiness and joy in this place we call the internet.
Joy
Yes.
and education.
Yeah, I just want to be there. I want to help, and I just want to kind of just put a smile on your face and just empower you through makeup.
Love it.
Well, you're doing it.
Thanks.
Achieved. Okay, we need to know what is on your beautiful face right now.
My goodness. Ben, did you happen to catch what I put on today? I was in a hurry. Let's see. Ooh. So I'm traveling. Kevin Aquan came out with their new contour book number 4. And I use that. I just absolutely love it. I can use it for eyeshadow, bronzer, blush. I even set with it sometimes. So I have that mainly all over my face. I have on a Callie Ray blush, the new blurring blush.
The
I love
blurring
that
blush
one.
is so good.
Honestly, blew me away. I can't even believe it. So I'm wearing the shade Zen. I think that's my favorite. I love that
looks
shade.
really good on
And then
you.
on my lips, I'm wearing this lip combo that I'm sure my friends and supporters are absolutely sick of seeing. Have y'all seen those Kiko Milano lips?
You turned me on to this brand.
Oh my God, Kiko Milano, they're incredible. So I have on their Unlimited Double Touch in the shade 112. And then the lip liner is the new Maybelline Lifter Liners. Have y'all tried those?
No.
Let's get in the car and go get more right now.
Okay.
We got to get to
Ooh.
CVS.
I saw you post about this because you were like, I had to go to the store and pick up more.
And there was only one left at the store, but then I ordered the rest on Amazon. Why didn't I think of Amazon? to
Wait,
begin
what
with?
about it? Tell us.
Honestly, they go on and they're like waterproof. They do not move. So that's why I like to pair it with this particular lip because it doesn't move. And
totally.
even the gloss that goes with this just doesn't disturb it. So some of the best lip liners I've ever tried. I love them so
okay.
much.
I'm looking at your very pretty lashes. Do you have a go-to mascara these days?
Let's see. I'm still using that Maybelline Firework mascara, which brings us back to the ads. Remember I did an ad for that? I actually still wear it constantly. So note that. I actually use what I use in my ads.
Okay, and then I saw your Instagram stories. Are you wearing the Patrick Ta foundation right now?
Not
or-
right now.
Okay.
Right now I just have on my Natasha Denona concealer. I just use just a little bit of that, and then the rest is that Kevin Aquan palette.
Okay,
Easy
wow.
peasy.
Gorge.
Okay, so before we get into the makeup and beauty nitty gritty, I want to know more about Rose and Ben. I want to know more about the duet.
We gotta scrub the internet, Ben. We gotta scrub. No, I'm actually so proud of that part of my life. We were young. We were right out of high school, and we started a band. So if you've ever wondered why all of my social ads are at Rose and Ben, is because we were a band. So the original one that I would have started would have been Instagram. So when I started that, we were literally, I remember being on our way to Nashville because we used to sing at the Bluebird Cafe all the time. We would play, we would do our own rounds. It was it's funny to think back on that. What was that part of my life? But yeah, I remember starting the Instagram and I was like, what should it be? And I'm like, I guess it should be for our duet. So it's at Rose and Ben. And for so long, I contemplated because, well, even the reason I got into makeup was because I was doing my stage makeup every single day. So, you know, being a musician, there's no way I could have afforded a makeup artist.
Right.
I could barely afford the daggum makeup.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We were on a budget. So I remember, I guess it was probably 2012. I posted a selfie because I was like, you know, one of my cousins, she was like, you know, you should just post a picture of your makeup. You do it so wild every single gig. So I posted it and it kind of just got, I guess, traction, and people wanted to know, what are you wearing? And then I remember being one of the first that would try to respond and give people tips. So from the very beginning, I was just like, I'm going to put this out here, but if you want the little information I have at this time, I'm going to give it to you. So it all started from being on stage, and then it just transitioned to where we are now.
Ben, did you sing?
So that duet.
I didn't know if you were just guitar guy and she was the
he
performer.
sang. Oh, no.
I harmonized and I'm on a couple tracks, but I was the instrumentalist generally.
And we wrote our music together. Yeah, I know.
So
I feel like
sweet.
you'll need to revive the duet for some of your ads. You should create
I
jingles for some of
know.
these brands.
Literally, this man creates jingles 24/7.
Oh,
Okay, Ben, let's do
we
this.
should have connected with you for our
I'm your
jingle.
Kris Jenner and your Kris Jenner. I'll be giving you a phone call next
And
week to make
Douglas.
sure you're
We have-
moving.
Where are
and
you,
Douglas,
Douglas?
the cutest dog ever.
He needs a manager too. So as Kirby mentioned, and as everyone who follows you knows, you have the best makeup tips. I feel like even if you're a beginner or expert level, like you will walk away from your content, even if it's just one video and you learn something new. Yep. How long did it take you to like develop a strong community and like nail down your signature style of content?
Social media is just ever changing, but the one thing that doesn't change is, I mean, over all of this time, people usually want to feel empowered. They want to understand. The more you understand about makeup, the more you want to create. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like being in that creative space is just so much fun. So I just feel like this is something I feel like I'm trying to get it all together because it's such a big question. There's just so much to it. There's so much depth. But I always felt like, even like I mentioned, education has just always been a passion of mine. And I feel like education is just always something people will search out. And I feel that I'm trying to think of when I would have started this. I guess this is a good way to start. In 2018, I remember that's when IG dropped stories. So I thought, what the heck is this? And I'm like, wait a second. Because at the time, do you remember Live Glamco?
Yes.
Do you remember
yes.
their Snapchat?
No.
Okay,
no.
so they did Snapchat tutorials. And at that time, they were getting like 200,000 views on these Snapchat stories. So they would have artists, I say artists, but influencers, artists, everybody come in and do tutorials. Well, I landed a gig every Thursday doing that. So I got in this groove of doing these long, almost master classes. So you know what? Shout out to Live Glam. Thank you for letting me do that. That was so awesome. And it kind of honed my skills. And then I remember I just transferred that over to IG. And then that's where I continued to do these Instagram stories that I do Monday through Friday, unless I'm traveling. Please forgive me. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'll be back soon. Please don't yell. So yeah, I just feel like I kind of just, and I owe where I'm at now to, I guess, longer format, because it gave me a chance to really talk you through things. Because at the time, Instagram would have just been like, I think it was a 30-second clip at the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't help you with nothing in 30 seconds.
Right. No, exactly. I think I love the education component, and that's very clear that you seem to be a very good communicator, mm-hmm. because I think you have to be a good one to educate people. Education is the great connector.
Truly.
It really helps you to
Yes.
feel a trust with
Yes.
another person.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot about your videos, because typically they're 60 seconds when I see them
Yes,
on
those
the
are.
feed. I do not know. I still am struggling. I usually go to 90 seconds, even though it's so hard because I want to stay at 60 so I can upload to YouTube Shorts. But I'm like, damn, Rose is able to get everything that she needs to say in 60 seconds. I'm sure it's a lot of editing and a lot of practice, but how did you?
What I even think from all of it, it's just I've made a million mistakes in my life, even with content, with my makeup, with so much that you just get to this point that you understand your groove and you just get in there. But also I think the reason I'm able to limit it, most of the videos, to 60 seconds is because I think of things very visual, because I was such a visual learner. And I remember trying to read tips in magazines. Think about how we used to try to get our makeup tips. It was in words, and the words were just, I'm like, hooty weirdy, you want me to point it to where and then do this angle and then tap around what?
Right.
Yeah.
So for me, I remember when I started this and I started to really get into doing video and shorter content as well, I remember thinking everything needs to be a visual. And even that's one of the reasons I do the swatches on my faces. And also one of the reasons I do that is the swatches on the face is kind of one of my signatures.
Totally.
So one of the reasons I do that, it's less for clickbait. I promise you it's less for clickbait. It's because our hand isn't always going to be the same color as our face. And putting an eyeshadow or something here is going to be completely different than having it where around the area that it's going to go.
And the skin is different.
It's totally different. Yes, the
100%.
skin on your hand is completely different. And that's why it's just so much easier to do the face swatches. I promise you it's not clickbait. There's a reason.
No, I don't think they're clickbait at all. I love watching it. I remember, maybe that's why I started following you, because remember I was like, oh my God, she has this beautiful canvas and then she's swatching
I
on
know
top.
exactly what video. Probably the black eyeshadow one.
Yes.
Yes.
And also, literally, no one else was doing that.
No. I mean, when I see
Can
it,
I get that in writing?
yeah, when I see that, I'm like, oh, that's like a Rose signature. But it's so funny because it was the black eyeshadow.
Yeah,
and
where
you
I teach you to correct it. Like,
it was bonkers. I think that's exactly it. That's why I
Yeah.
started following. When did you post that?
probably a year ago now.
Yeah, I think I've only been following you a year, and so that's why when I started really, we're journalists, so we love to research and like look into. I'm
Yeah.
like, how have I not found you before a year ago?
Who knows? I'm just sneaking around the corners of the internet.
No, but every brand that I know and I talk to, and they're asking me, who do you like watching? Who do you like working with? Who do you like covering? I'm like, if you're not following or working with Rose, I think that you do just such an amazing job at educating people.
It's about properly reviewing products. I review everything, and this is a really good topic, because I feel a lot of times people think, oh, that's Rose, she just likes everything. The difference is I understand who that product is for, the age group, the climate they live in, where they're at in their life, everything about that. You have to think about that. So if you've ever, except for that Givenchy powder. So if you ever,
We'll get to that, girl. Don't you wait.
even that, I even mentioned in that video, if you like glow, you're going to absolutely love this. So you saw in that video, I never even put it down. I just said, wow, this isn't what I am used to. This isn't something that I would use all of the time. And I understand that with products. And I love that you said that, because we have to understand that not all products are for us, but being someone that reviews products and helps you understand products, I have to understand all of it. I have to make it to where I select each product and I go, okay, this one is for this person, this one's for this person, this one isn't for me, but guess who would love it? So I feel that in this community, the beauty community, it would be really helpful if instead of making, and we can all have intense personal preference. I think I have a few of those videos. Il Maquillage is one that didn't work out for me as well.
Yep.
And I can have that, but we need to also flip it and be reminded that someone else might, and let's help them understand this product as well.
Totally. Right now I'm seeing you mentioned the Patrick Ta foundation, Sarah. Have you tried it yet?
I wore it because I was reminded I had it when I saw Rose wear it on her Instagram stories, and I like it a lot because I have like drier skin.
Yeah.
So
what kind of coverage do you normally gravitate?
And I like a little bit lighter.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
exactly.
it was made for me.
Literally, and that's what I keep preaching on my stories. And because when you have these really buzzworthy foundations that pop up, I always want to reiterate over and over and over again, because we all get so excited, myself included. I still buy so much, don't I, Ben?
Same.
I just
Ben's
buy
like,
so much.
unfortunately.
Listen, no, he's all for it. He's like, do we need to go to Sephora? Do we need to go to Ulta? Do you need anything? So
Well, that makes you more credible too.
yes, I do. Now, obviously, brands, they take care of me. They do. I get sent so much. But I still purchase so much. But it's just, that foundation, I because it's so new, I want to keep reminding people, look, because it is labeled a medium coverage foundation.
It doesn't feel like that at all.
It doesn't.
Oh.
I'm wearing it today, and I like the way it looks today than when I first tried it. And I figured out it was because you know that they really are promoting that it's skincare and a foundation, right?
Yeah.
For me, it was accentuating my pores. I was noticing that it was moving a lot even
Yeah.
when I was setting it. And I was like, okay, I got to figure out how to use this because
Scale back your skincare.
100%.
Not your SPF.
Right.
Everything else.
When I scaled back my skincare, so no serums, literally just a light moisturizer and my sunscreen. And then when I did it this morning, I used my fingers instead
Yeah.
of a sponge
is
or
how
a
you-
brush.
about that.
Okay.
But you applied it
Girl,
with your fingers
I
too.
smoothed.
Oh, you smoothed and then you blended it
yeah,
out.
there's C42.
So-
what the heck? What?
I know. Well, I mean,
Sorry.
she has
Apologies.
they have a brush line, y'all. But for me, I was like, because what I was using was more of like a paint brush, like a flat brush to apply it originally, and so it
so
was
you could, like, see the
streaky.
lines,
Yes,
yeah.
and it was
Okay,
really
yeah,
hard
yeah,
for
yeah.
me to
you,
blend
you
it.
have to have density, even with tinted moisturizers. Let's just go to the least amount of coverage. I'm still going to recommend a dense brush,
Right.
Because of the way that it's just going to press. And then you can work in those layers all the way up. And then once you work more towards the center, you want to use less.
Totally. So to your point about pressing in, when I was able to feel the consistency on my fingers, I naturally wanted to press it into my skin instead of
Exactly.
wiping it or
Exactly.
pouncing it or whatever. And I really, really, really like it now, as opposed to when I tried it 2 or 3 days ago with a
Yeah.
completely different setup.
Exactly.
I have to say, so I wasn't able to go to the event, but Kirby got got me shade matched because one of the makeup artists is a listener, and he just like guessed, and he matched it. It's like literally my skin color.
I mean, your skin looks
It was
really
like I was like, oh my god, I need to message him. But
did.
I was really amazed by the shades.
good. But to your point,
Yeah.
it's about educating, and it's about
Helping you understand formulas.
And I also think sometimes on the internet, when you see one viral product and then there's a bad review and then that goes viral, then
Yeah.
everybody wants to jump on it because they're like, well, this is viral right now and I want to get more views and engagement. So I'm going to jump on it. And I'm like, but you're not even trying to see. Like, I was reading a content creator who someone was like, well, why didn't you set it with powder, or why didn't you do this? And she was like, well, this is how I normally do my wear test. It's just like how I normally do my makeup. And I'm like, I get it. You want to stick to your consistent routine and how you do things, but sometimes if you want a product to work for you, you're going to have to change how you
have
do
to
it.
adjust a few things.
Right.
And that's where I come back to, if you already have it and you're not understanding it, let's do a video and help you with that. So I'm all for that. Let's make what you already have work. That's my whole thing. I love helping people not waste their makeup.
Yes. Okay. I want to talk about Givenchy because you really led the charge on this. I remember.
I didn't mean to.
I know.
I can't believe nobody else did it first, but it's so funny because I feel like that's my powder. Like,
Same.
since 2018.
Girl, same. I mean, that powder, and I go out and buy that powder. Givenchy does not send it to me. I go out and buy it. I have the smaller sizes. I went out after your video and was trying to find the originals, but they had already been taken out of the Sephora's near me.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I
"Dang
didn't
it."
even try. I knew that they had already done that.
So did they send you the new reformulation?
Yes, they
okay, so
did.
you were just like, let's see what's different.
Yeah.
Did you expect it to be that different?
No. I knew
Interesting.
that they took talc out, and I knew that they would have replaced it with mica. I forget it's a synthetic mica. I
Yep.
forget the name. Please forgive me. But I've used talc-free powders. I've never had the issue, but I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
Took me out.
You weren't expecting the video to blow up the way that it
Oh
did.
no, no. Whenever I post a video, I don't ever. I mean, you notice that there's never any controversy in anything I post.
Right.
I just
Yeah.
keep it so peaceful, and I already know that I'm not going to get a billion views on most of those videos, because while people do want help, that's still not going to get the same hype as negativity.
Totally.
So I had no idea, because I figured people would be like, oh,
Yeah.
it's just rose.
Yeah, right.
But then everybody started stitching it, and then I was like, I'm going to bed.
I think that's because it's such a beloved product.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a makeup artist staple. We have so many makeup artists
And
on
it's
this podcast.
so different
Yeah.
than the original.
Right. It's extremely different. And I think
And there
for
were so many shades originally. It was just,
Right.
it was so well thought out.
Totally. I think the thing that maybe is a little confusing for a lot of people is they're saying it's a matte product
Yeah.
still, but it has that synthetic mica in
Yeah.
it. It has this reflective, capability to it. And even testing it on our hands last week, we were like,
Oh,
you
it's
can
shiny.
you
Yeah.
can see that it's shiny. I don't want to
Yeah.
put that anywhere near.
No, it's definitely not with my Milia. No.
No, exactly.
No.
So, what powders are you gravitating towards now?
Let's see. What have I been using? Well, for setting right now, I'm loving Mario's powder. I haven't tried the pink one. I'm in neutral peach right now, but it's perfect.
Okay,
And I
love.
really love it. Have y'all tried it?
No.
we were going to, but when we were trying like 17 different powders last week, and we didn't get to that one.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the new Kosas brightening powder, but I would use that after.
Uh-huh.
That stuff is fantastic.
I love Cloud Set, so I love that they
love
came with brightening.
the idea of a baked brightening powder. Because remember, baked powders, they start out wet. They start out like a big cloud of fluff. So when they interact again with wet foundation or wet concealer, they're like, oh, I remember being in this state. So they just glide and smooth so beautifully on top of wet foundation.
We both are big fans of Cloud Set. I was
Yeah.
so excited
So
when they
good.
came out with their travel sizes. I was
Oh.
begging Sheena. I was like, please come out with the travel size of Cloud Set. So now that they have these brightening options,
Candy is, I love it.
ooh, love. We tested Huda
Okay.
because we had
Cherry blossom
yes.
or cupcake?
we did cherry blossom, and then Sarah did
Which one was
pound cake.
Pound cake. Pound
Okay.
cake.
She did pound cake last week. So mine was more brightening. Hers was more just like a neutral.
Neutral, got it.
We liked it. We think it was great. But we fell in love with the Chanel powder.
Oh, please.
I did
the
not.
pink one?
No, mine was 12.
I have the pink one somewhere.
Mine was 12. It does have a pink tint. And then she had 30, I think.
Yeah,
So it was
yeah.
more of a neutral.
Wait, what are your thoughts?
You know, it at the time I was comparing it to the original Givenchy formula.
Uh-huh.
So I still like the Givenchy more, but I'm going to have to dig it back out. Y'all just reminded me. And I know exactly what drawer it's in right now.
Give it a go.
I'm going
Because
to.
It's going viral, right? You said.
it is. It's so much. The reason why I picked it up is because I can't remember who it was, but there was a creator that was like, I know everyone was obsessed with Givenchy, but you should try Chanel because I truly think this is the best on the market. So I'm like, fine. I went to the boutique. I bought it. It was $56. So it's a little bit cheaper than the original Givenchy.
Okay.
And it's huge.
It's huge.
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah.
It's
I remembered
so
it.
much product, and a lot of our listeners in the Slack channel were like, "This is my holy grail. It will last you a full year, and the blurring capability, in their opinion, is better than Givenchy." So, bust it back out, girl.
I got to go home.
I need your
Can
review.
we wrap this up? I got to go
Yes.
get my Chanel powder.
I need your official review on it. Douglas, you're so
Hello,
cute.
Douglas.
with your
I'm
little
sure
ponytail.
if any of my supporters are watching or listening, they hear those toes. They hear them in
Yes.
every single video.
we
But now-
welcome it.
Now they're going to be wondering where Jean, my cat, the snores. Have you ever heard
Yes.
my videos? If you'll turn up the volume, there's literally, he's like honk shoe in the background.
Oh my god.
That's Sarah's dog, Ollie.
Yeah, literally.
Sometimes on the pod, I'm like, is that? That's Ollie.
Your child or your dog?
We love it. Okay, what is one makeup mistake that you feel you could make nonstop content about? And I hate saying mistake because
yeah.
of course makeup is you're free to do whatever you
That's
want.
how I feel. I know. I don't
Yeah.
like that word.
Or like something that people,
No,
it's hard
here,
for them
let's
to
say
get.
this way. Undertones. I will never stop making videos on undertones. And I try to make a different version of it because what might be easy to digest for someone might not make any sense. So I'm always about, I love making videos and new ways to help people understand their undertone. Also color correcting. I love color correcting.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
I love
those
color
videos are so
correcting.
good.
Your color correcting videos are so good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. I just
It's like
love
magic.
It really is magic. Did
Yeah.
you see my last one?
Yes.
With the green?
Yes.
It was bonkers.
But isn't that so cool how just finding a little bit different shade of green
Yes.
Right.
changes everything?
and that doesn't look purple. It,
Yeah,
it was
ashy,
really
yeah.
Such a
Very
good-
well done. Another thing you do very well, your ads. Literally.
you.
It's like you
Because
don't.
we're also like, we love marketing. We
Yeah.
love learning about the art of marketing a
Yeah.
product, right? You know, we geek out over that stuff.
And we also have to do like ads for the podcast. So we appreciate like, you know, when
Yeah.
we see an ad where you don't even know it was an
Yeah.
ad, which is like all of your videos.
Well, we know it's an ad because I put ad
Or sorry,
first.
well, okay.
No,
except
I
for
was going
that.
to say,
You
I see
don't-
partner on every single one of those
No,
videos.
you put
you are not.
ad.
You are not
That is
violating
one
any
thing.
FTCs.
Hello, FTC. It's me, Rose.
No, unless
They're like,
you
"She's
look
good."
at the cap. Like, but the content is the same.
Yes, it's always going to
It's
be the
always
same.
going to be the
So one
same.
of the things that I won't do for my ads is I'm not going to do a first impression. Not that I feel that people shouldn't. I totally understand that, but since I have such an educational approach, I feel like if I were to do, oh my God, let me just try it. Oh, I love it so much. For me on my page, doing that as an ad just would not feel authentic because it's just, it's just not going to work for me. But when I do an ad, I want you to I'm either helping you understand the product or I'm showing you a technique. So you're going to come away with something other than just go buy this lipstick, go buy this powder. I want you to kind of take something away instead of just me forcing you to look at something. And I feel like that's so important, especially in the community that I'm in.
Sarah, is she our third now? Because literally we had a whole podcast last year about banning first impressions.
Yeah.
Because we think that we understand why people do them, but you testing something in the best lighting ever for 30 minutes does not constitute as something that's going to last you come back in 6 months and let us know, or even a month,
Exactly.
even
And
28 days.
A
main-
month for makeup, definitely 6 months for skincare.
Yeah.
Totally.
We can't just put on a moisturizer and be like, I'm better.
Yeah.
Wish we could.
This worked. Yeah.
Then there would be no more moisturizers. It would just be that one
Right?
moisturizer.
I'm better.
We're done.
Yeah, I just, but again, because I love my community so much, and I'm even talking about the other creators in my community, and I never want anyone to feel like, oh, Rose, there she is on her high horse.
Totally.
But for me, that was just something that never made my makeup heart sing.
It's also just
whatsoever.
not on brand for you.
Yeah,
it doesn't
it's
make
not.
sense.
No.
Have you ever had and you don't have to name names, but has there ever been a sponsorship that's gone south where somebody's reached out to you about working together, and then as you start, maybe you've already used the product, or maybe they are launching a shade extension or something, and you're like, oh, actually, I can't move forward with this. I can't post this.
No, because I go, look, send me the product, and I don't care if you're the smallest brand or the biggest brand, please just send me the product, and then I will use it. Sometimes I'm obviously under NDA, and because you can't show the product yet.
Totally.
Right.
I mean, there was like a million like that. I think I just did that with some of the powders. But I will try it, and I will try, like I said, makeup, I usually try about a month, obviously. And that's one of the reasons I don't do a lot of skincare, because that I do switch out so much, except for my Elemis. Love my Elemis. I'll try it out, and then after that month, I'll either go, yes, this is something that I could absolutely see myself doing an ad for, or no, this just isn't something that fits into what I do. So I try that stuff. Oh my goodness. Because like I said, I want to understand who it's for. If it's not for me, who is it for?
Totally.
Okay, wait. How do you go through trying all of the products? Like, do you have a system?
My system that's one of the reasons I started doing the story tutorials Monday through Friday, because it's almost impossible to try it all if all you're doing is posting a TikTok. It's also hard because when you're just posting those TikToks, for me, this is all from my experience, it gets hard to keep up because then it's always on to the next thing. And then you're like, hey, didn't you like that other blush last week?
Right.
So for me, you're able to see it because I'm there constantly, and I have my favorites. Now, obviously, I switch throughout things, but it'll always come back. You'll always continue to see it. Just like the ad I did for the Maybelline mascara. I'm still using it. Love it. So it's about seeing it more regularly instead of one time for 30 seconds.
Totally. I have to shout out your Glossier post that you did when they launched their Boy Brow Arch.
I'm wearing that right now.
It is such a good video, and I sent that video to Sarah because I was like, did you know this? That you can sharpen
Yeah,
it
no, I
on
didn't.
the cap. That is,
Genius.
I did not. And we get the emails, we get all the information
But I
on
feel
it.
like they didn't
I don't-
shout that
they
out.
did not, which is so brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just love that product. I just love how soft it was. But I do
wearing
think
it
they were
today,
pretty
too.
innovative with that. And I also think that I've seen that head shape before, but they made it so mini.
Right.
Delightful.
Yeah.
And it's also sturdy enough.
Yes.
Yeah, it
Sometimes
doesn't
I
break.
haven't had one
Piano
break.
size.
I have
They'll
not.
break off and it's like in your brow hair and you're trying to scoop
Or you
it
just
out.
keep going through it
Which-
and then it's like you're done and you're
By
like,
the
"God, I
way,
have
they
to buy
obviously
another
sent
one."
me shades for the campaign, but I've already purchased it again. I love.
Yeah.
I gotta support my community.
We have to talk about the brushes. They're
Um,
so good. Can you give us like a pitch on maybe 3 Rose and Ben brushes that everyone needs in their kit?
Oh my God, no, that's too hard.
I know that's like your children. It's like
No.
picking Douglas
Okay,
or
fire in the
Douglas or
house.
Jean.
What are you grabbing?
What am I grabbing? Actually, let's just talk about, maybe let's do a little exclusive sneak peek. Yeah, I don't even think they know the names of these. So if honestly, I will say that I love my artistry series. So the artistry series, we did the travel set,
Yep.
the essential travel set, but we have our artistry set, and that's going to be the longer brushes. So I could go into detail a million. We didn't got time. But one thing I was always kind of on the fence about was dual-ended brushes. I don't know why. I think one of the reasons is because they always felt kind of like they weren't heavy enough and they weren't what I was looking for. But you know what? I think I finally figured it out. I figured out. Honestly, I don't even think I've talked about the name of these. Can I say the name? What? It's D1 and D2, right? Oh, here they are. We've never even told people. This is so fun. It's
Exclusive.
an exclusive. Oh my
They're
gosh.
They're beautiful.
They are beautiful.
So these are, I don't even know how old these are now. And that's another thing. I test the brushes. I think I tested the originals that I was telling you about a year and a half. I remember. And now I watch those old videos and they were black at the time. They were just all black. And there's like, Laura Geller actually runs that ad still for their powder foundation. And that's the C41 prototype. I'm like, I still see it all the time. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so embarrassing. Please put that brush away. Please. So for this one, we have our blush brush and it's quite large. So this is a baby of that one.
Right.
And then, but this one's going to be a new one. And this is one that I use for so many different things. It just leaves the most beautiful transition.
Gorge.
And then we are doing, this is similar to our C31. And if you ever do any kind of color corrector, I cannot stress this shape and size of brush enough. The way that this just smooths but keeps the pigment is on another level. It's a game changer.
Beautiful.
And then we just have our more classic fluffy brush that honestly, if I'm in a hurry, I flip this around and I just go to town. I'm just like, we got to go. We got things to do. So I am so excited for these two. These don't leave my side. Quite literally, they were literally right here by my side.
Yeah, no, she was sitting with them.
When did they come out?
Do we have a date yet?
Late 2024.
Late
Okay.
2024.
Okay, we'll be on the lookout. That's exciting. And y'all, Rose and Ben are so nice. They're giving Glams a discount code.
Oh my God, as a
So if you've never tried one of their brushes, what are you doing with your life? But if you use code GLOSS20, you'll get 20% off through December 31st of this year.
Oh my God.
So generous. We
So
are
generous. I know
thrilled.
what everyone's getting for Christmas.
I know. Oh my gosh. Yes.
And this is like, it's essentially 4 brushes.
I know. This
So
is
that's
coming soon.
Perfect.
It'll be there. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Absolutely love.
You
Okay.
Get back by my side.
Okay, Rose, before we let you go, we're going to do a rapid fire.
Let's go.
What is the most underrated makeup brand?
Oh my gosh, this is Mob Beauty.
We
So
Speaking
Stan.
our language, Rose.
are you serious?
stand. We
Oh
love
my-
Vic and Alicia so much.
Honestly, I had never done a collab with a brand before. They were the first brand. Vic and Alicia, angels from heaven.
Totally.
To work with Vic and to work on product together was honestly, I learned so much.
He's a genius and just he comes from that educational approach like
I was
you.
gonna say, that's why they probably loved
Exactly.
working
And
with
he's
you as
so
well.
Passionate about what he does, and their formulas are on another level. They're so slept on, and I feel
agree.
like sometimes they just get this nice amount of traction, and then all of a sudden I just don't even hear about it, and I'm like, people,
Yeah.
it's Mob Beauty.
And then they're
M1990 I love what they're doing when it comes to basically, because Vic knows. He's like,
mean, he
I
knows
have
his
the
formula.
literal
Yeah.
formula.
I've seen them.
Yeah.
I touched them.
You did?
I touched them. I was literally just like reading through, and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm reading, but I know what color this is, and I know how I felt the first time I put this color on.
It's so great too, because I love when someone like Aaron Parsons is going back, like, why doesn't Flesh Pot look like this, or why doesn't this look like this? And he's like, here's why.
Here's why.
He
He's
can
like,
tell you.
even the one from 1998 is not the same from 1990.
It's so interesting, right? How
That
raw
is-
materials change. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I really like how nimble they are too.
Yeah.
They're able to really just like jump on something.
Yes.
And their commitment to sustainability
Right.
Sustainability
is unlike anything,
I mean,
any other
you're
brands
telling
out there.
me I was literally like, let's collab. This is insane.
Yeah.
Y'all are amazing. So
That was a great answer. We
Yeah.
love them.
Brand that's most overhyped.
ooh, no, this is so mean.
Okay.
No, how about let's not put. I'm not going to say the hype word, but I'll say one that I do see everywhere. And this hype that's all personal preference.
Sure.
Totally.
But for me, I never use Charlotte Tilbury the way that a lot of people use Charlotte Tilbury.
Interesting.
But one of my favorite products from her, and one of my favorite products, period, are actually her eyeshadows.
I love her eyeshadows.
Her eyeshadows are delightful, but
pretty.
that's not something you see people use a lot.
You're so right.
And they're delightful.
Interesting.
Yes.
That's actually a really good point.
I really like how you answered that question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
thank
we
you.
love that. That was such a graceful way
Kindness
to answer
always.
that question. We're like, what's the sound bite?
Yeah,
You know,
you're like, you're trying to be all mean. You're not going to catch Rose slipping.
we do not want to be
we're not
mean
trying
here.
to get you. We're not trying to
We're
get
not. What is your most viral video to date?
I don't know if it's my most viral, but it has 40 million plus on Instagram, and it's more recent. It's where I did the bronzer as color corrector, and I stitched Sierra. I forget her last name, but I do have her tagged in that video. So that was a really interesting video because that comes back to color theory.
Is
Oh
it-
wait, is this a mean? This is.
yeah, maybe
I
we'll
can
do.
handle mean.
No, it's not. It's more about trends.
Why are y'all so mean?
I know. We're like, what's the trend you want to die?
No,
we
no,
just
no.
want to get into the. We want the brain power of Rose. Like, what do you think is like? Can we move on from this?
Oh, well, I can always put myself in those shoes. What am I tired of doing on myself?
Yeah.
Never wing liner. I love wing liner. It's delightful.
Which Gen Z, Gen Alpha are like, oh, it's the end of the wing liner, and I'm like, no, I don't
have
think
to
that's
have wing
ever.
liner.
I
Sorry.
love it.
I
I
have
feel
to.
like a little fancy 1950s movie
I
star
don't think
with my
anyone will
liner.
ever really stop. Like maybe you won't do it as much as like I don't wear a wing liner as much as I used to, but like I still do it.
Right.
Like
Oh, here's a fun one. I think that, and this is a please, I love everything. Makeup is so personal.
Right.
But I think our brows are going to be a little less fluffy, maybe a little more sculpted. I think we might be going into a sculpted area, not in terms of thickness,
Right.
just a little less up, a little more the way it naturally grows.
Yeah. Define.
Yeah, a little bit more definition because I find myself, I've even switched my brow gel recently. I switched to the MAC one, the one with the green
Yeah.
applicator. I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but it's their newer one. Yeah.
Have you tried the new Anastasia tinted brow gel?
I literally opened it and walked out the door to get on a plane, and I was like waving bye to it. I was like, I'll be back, my darling.
I think you'll like it.
I'm so excited.
Because it doesn't necessarily tint the skin underneath. It really
Ooh.
grabs the blonde of, because I have darker brows but really blonde ends.
Okay.
And I feel like it's helped to kind
Is it a tubing formula?
Is it?
no,
Because I love that milk one.
you know what but what I have found different about it is that it feels not that it's dry, but you know how so many brow gels
Too
lately
wet.
are so wet. And so then you're like a lot of it you're like correcting, you're starting over because it's
Yeah,
like too
it's
much
so heavy.
product. Yeah, so I feel like she said it's super buildable.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like this.
What we went to Anastasia did like a master class and showed us how to use it.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
I know to this day she's still teaching us stuff.
I
She's
know.
a
It's
genius.
incredible.
Okay, so this is your own opinion, obviously. What's one thing you would never do as a makeup educator?
Make someone feel uncomfortable in any way. That would just break my heart, and I feel like that's one of the reasons I took this more educational approach, because I feel that makeup for so long, it felt so hidden, it felt so secret. There were so many secrets in the industry, and I feel like at that time I even felt alienated from it, and I felt like it was this big hush hush, whisper, we're not going to let you in on this. And a lot of people kind of just that they could have been so creative. They were like, okay, that's scary and intimidating. I don't want no part of that. So I never wanted people to feel intimidated, and I never want you to feel that way. I want you to feel just so empowered with makeup. I want you to be excited for it because it's a little art project. Makeup is truly art to me, and once you experience that, you're just unstoppable.
Totally. And it's totally subjective.
Yeah.
Truly. I say that every single day. So maybe you don't want to completely redesign your face with concealer. That's fine. You absolutely don't have to.
Right.
Maybe you just want to put the tiniest little amount of blush on, but I want you to understand how to put that tiniest little amount of blush on. I want you to feel
100%.
so confident and be like, no, I completely understand how to put this little bit of blush on. I know how to pick it up on my brush. I know what color to look for. I know what formula is going to work for me best, and that's what I'm here for.
Okay, Rose, this was so amazing. Thank you for making time for us. We're such huge fans of you and everything you do.
This was such a
Glams,
dream.
remember, you can find this in the show notes, but gloss 20 on roseandbenbeauty.com.
Yes.
You'll get 20% off through December 31st on their brushes, limited to one person, one time. Be kind and don't go crazy with this, but please, we really appreciate it.
Start
We know that y'all have consciences. Just remember Kirby and Sarah on your shoulder yelling at you if you do something crazy. Rose, where can everybody find you and find Rose and Ben Beauty?
Honestly, you can just go to rosenbenbeauty.com. I'm at Rosenben, TikTok, IG. Come say hi. Come visit. Come learn. Let's have fun with makeup.